Okay, so today we're going to be learning how to do a silk double with a turnaround underneath. Now, if you want some different tips, tricks, and explanations, if you check out my money hand toss turnaround video, it explains the different ways that you can go into taking your turnaround toss, and also different ways to execute your turnaround toss, whether that being in a pencil turn, a coupe turn, or an attitude turn. So if you want to break down, go ahead and check out that video. But today we're going to be doing the silk double, and we're going to be doing it with the standard turnaround style of parallel coupe turn and arms down. So the first thing that you're going to want to learn is how to do a silk double. If you don't know how to do a silk double, go ahead and check out my previous video on how to execute a silk double. So the technique is still going to be the same. We're going to cone on 7-8, releasing on 1. So let's go ahead and take that. 5 and 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. You want to make sure that you take the silk double a couple times and you really think about your placement. Placement is going to be very important whenever you start learning turnarounds, because if your placement is off, then it's going to be harder for you to catch. So make sure that your release point is correct, make sure that you're catching at the correct time, and so on and so forth. The next thing that you want to do is you want to take this a couple times without your flag. So I'm going to be in like an air flag mode. I'm going to cone on 7-8. I'm going to release on 1. It's important that on count 1 you don't do anything. The common mistake with turnarounds is that people will start to turn on count 1, which means that you're going to hook your flag, or you're not going to release it with enough energy, so it can go in opposite directions of where you want it to go. So I'm going to release on 1 from here. I'm going to turn on 2 and I'm going to stop in that second position. Notice that I'm still looking up at where my flag placement would be, and then I'm going to go ahead and catch on 3. So let's take that. 5 and 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3. And so you want to take that a couple times by itself to make sure that you are feeling really good about your toss. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to kind of do a halfway point. So I like to do silk double, and before we even try the turnaround, I like people to start thinking about turning their hips and shoulders at the same time. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take my silk double and I'm going to kind of push off and then come back to a second position without actually turning. And that's going to happen on 2 and then I'm going to catch on 3. So let's go ahead and take that. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3. So notice that time I was a little too far to the left with my release point. That's because I was anticipating turning too soon, which is going to be a common mistake for some people when they start off. So let's try that again, making sure that we're moving on count 2. 5 and 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. And that time, I corrected myself. My placement was where it needed to be, and my flag came right back down with me. Now, the last part is just taking it. You need to trust yourself. Now, whenever you start doing turnarounds, something that I like to do is I like to make sure that I have a friend with me so that they can see where my flag is at all times when I'm learning something. That way, if my flag is too far out, they can tell me. Or if I turn and I'm turning forward instead of turning on top of myself and I'm going to hit, they can say, hey, watch out. So make sure that whenever you're starting to do trick tosses like turnarounds and things like that, that you have somebody there that can help you and help guide you through what you're doing to make sure that your technique is correct. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a teacher. It can be a sister, a brother, a friend, a mom, just to make sure that they're looking out for certain things. Hey, saying, hey mom, is my flag vertical when I'm releasing, or is it starting to pitch? Am I tossing to the right, or am I tossing to the left? Little things like that can help you, and if you think about it, and if you're more of a detective about your technique, then it's really going to help you when you add in those tricks to your arsenal, because you know that you're going to be doing it correctly and you know how you're going to fix that. So let's go ahead and take a couple slope double turnarounds. 5 and 6, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. So that one was a little to the left, so let's go ahead and take that again. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. And so you want to make sure that you're nice and strong. If you have to adjust at the last minute, that's fine. Let's go ahead and take that one more time. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Five, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. That time my shoe got caught on the carpet. But you understand the idea of making sure that whenever you're taking your toss, that you're thinking about being on the ball of your foot as you're doing it, keeping your heel lifted. It's harder when you do it with tennis shoes on the carpet, but just make sure you're working through that, and make sure that if you're stopping midway or having any issues, that you're problem solving through this. It's all about the feel of what you're doing. If it feels right, then you know that you're in the right direction. If it feels wrong, then you know that you need to look at something. And that is how you do a silk double turnaround.